Hey everybody. So this is going to be a what's in my stash of cruelty-free blushes, bronzers, and highlights. So I have a lot to get to, so we'll just go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to start off with is blushes. It's the thing I have the most of. So the first thing I have is, this is a Hard Candy Fox in a box, and this is the color Hot Flash. I got this completely based on an Emily Noel 83 video, and it's just 4 colors. Now you can take a little small brush and you can use any of these colors individually. You can combine all of them together or combine them 2 at a time or 3 at a time, any way you want to. It's really, what's the word? There are just no limit, really. I mean, there's just so many. I'm sure there's a limit, but there's a whole lot of options there. Let's see here. But you can buy Hard Candy products at Walmart. Then I have, this is my only Physicians Formula blush, and you guys have seen this. I think this was in my favorites of 2012, and that is horrible lighting. Let's go there. See if we can, there. As we cover my face to get that to look right. But that is the Happy Booster Blush in Natural. Let's see. The next thing I have are 3 Milani blushes, and I think you've already seen 2 of these. The first one I have is Luminoso. And let me tilt it so you can see the color. But this is the one that I've actually used the most. Then the next one I purchased was Barry & Moore, and let's see here, and that's of course, and I used that in a recent Face of the Day as well. You can tell that I used Luminoso a whole big bunch more than that. And then Red Vino. Here's that. I love that color, and I know it's crazy looking, but I love it. I mean, you barely tap it and you have enough. Okay, so the next thing is e.l.f. blushes. Now, I have an e.l.f. Loose Minerals blush in Rose, and I absolutely love this color. Now, see? Just a very pretty color. The only thing I hate about loose blushes is the same thing that I hated about Bare Minerals blushes, is that it's really hard. You have to keep them sitting straight up, because if you tap them the wrong way, over time it all comes up in the top and it makes a big mess. But it's still a very pretty color, and I would absolutely repurchase it if I ran out of it. The next thing I have is the Baked blush from e.l.f., and you can't see that. It says Passion Pink. And it's almost, I mean, it's a very, very natural pink color. For people a little darker than me, and excuse me for the blind of light as I readjust everything, it would be a good highlighter. In fact, I have used that as a highlighter, and I am what you might call a light medium. I'm right in the middle. I'm not as light as you can get, but I'm also not really medium. I'm kind of right in the middle. Okay, the next e.l.f. blush I have is Berry Mary, and I'll try not to blind you with it. Yeah, love that. Then the last one I have is Mellow Mauve, which is kind of like Berry Mary, but there's no sparkles in it, and the Berry Mary has the gold sparkles. Okay, now I also have, as I move everything around, I have 4 Tarte blushes that I use pretty much as blushes. You all know about Angelic, which I'll put it in the blush category, but I use it as a highlight, and you guys see this a lot. There we go. And that is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Angelic, which came in the holiday set of the mini blushes. All of the Tarte blushes I have are mini blushes. The next one I have is Fantastic, also from that same blush collection. The next one is Magic. And then we have Stellar. Now I have been told some people are using this as a contour. I haven't yet. I haven't used it at all yet. But I'm going to try it as a blush first. Let me tilt it so you can see. I'm going to try it as a blush first, and then I'm going to try and do a little contour with it. But I am really loving the Chocolate Soleil so much that I don't know if I'm going to change for a while. And then the last one I have I got in the Carried Away kit on Sephora, and that is Adventurous. Looks like that. Okay, so the next thing I have is bronzers, and the one you guys have seen the most of and you hear me talk about all the time and rave about, at least the last couple of videos, is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, which of course I'm wearing today. The e.l.f. Minerals bronzer, and I love this stuff. It comes up a little lighter than it actually is in the camera. Let's see. The last one I got, I have not even used this one. This is the e.l.f. Cool Bronzer. Oh, sorry I blinded you. And I see several things I would like to do with that. Now the last thing that I have is actually a combination. It's actually two things. It's kind of, I guess you would call them palettes. But they have more than one thing, but they're still in the blush, bronzer, and highlight category. So the first one is IT Cosmetics, and this is the Live, Love, Laugh Vitality Face Disc with Drops of Light Technology. And you saw this in my favorites video because, of course, as I can't get it open. Okay, now it works. But it has a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush. This is great to travel with. All I need is a fluffy brush and then an ends brush, something to do the whole all over bronzing thing, and then something to, to contour with. And then you have your highlighter and your blush, and worst came to worst, you could use your fingers to apply that highlighter. And you can keep that, and you can use the highlighter under your brow, tear duct, and everything, and then you wouldn't maybe have to bring as much. If you brought that and maybe a small eyeshadow palette, you might be set. Anyway, as I ramble. And then the last thing I have is the e.l.f. Contouring. I can't get this little plastic piece off. The Contouring and Blush Duo, but I can't get the plastic off because, anyway. And so it's been compared to the NARS Orgasm and Laguna. I don't really know if they compare. I never was on that bandwagon, so I've never actually used NARS products, and nothing really interests me. But it has a peachy blush, which is actually kind of, it's a good one. It's kind of natural. And then you have your bronzer, which is a good contour color. This would be one that I would carry with me. This would be a good one because if you use, it's the same thing, but I would probably focus more on that as a contour bronzer as opposed to a facial bronzer, because I like a slightly lighter bronzer for facial bronzer. But anyway, therefore we end, as I make no sense. That ends my What's in My Stash blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, cruelty free. So you have a great day now. Thanks for watching. Bye.